Good morning, everyone, and welcome to the Quantum Leap Morning Leap. This is where we put our trade plan together. I go through my analysis of looking at the trends, macro to micro, the structure of the market, and then we take our trading levels and put them into a chart and our targets and set up our hypothesis for the day. It is Tuesday, June 16, 2015. My name is Doug McKay. I'm the founder and head moderator of Quantum Leap. Quantum Leap is a group of retail traders. We're actually what we call a SOL, self-organized learning environment. Each morning we come together and do this session. We also have a Skype chat room. You're welcome to come and join us. Before I get started, I do have to get the legals done. This information is for the purpose of educating members who want to expand the knowledge of the business of trading. It's not for trading or investment advice. You, only you, are responsible for the trades or investment decisions you make. Trading futures or any instrument involves risk loss. Please consider carefully whether futures or options are appropriate to financial situation. Only risk capital should be used when trading futures or options. Investors could lose more than initial investment. Nobody at Quantum Leap is a certified trading advisor. We are retail traders operating within a self-organized learning environment. Past performance is not indicative of future results. Any trades that you see in Quantum Leap are for education purposes only. Past performance is not indicative of future results. Okay, so yesterday we put together our trade levels and went over my main hypothesis. And our main hypothesis was a rotational day with a downside bias as long as we stayed below this 2074, and then if we got above it, a move to up into that 8150 overnight high and test of the range low at 82. We got the nice move in the morning. Didn't quite get down to our main target below, which was the 62. Got within 3 ticks, buyer stepped in and slowly worked our way up. But all in all, it was a pretty good day. It ended up as a double distribution. We have this this LVN, I call it an LVN slush zone, basically from 70 1/4 up to 72. Don't really want to trade in this area right here. You want to wait for a break above the 72, above the VWAP from yesterday to get long into our targets above in the upper distribution, or wait to get below 70 1/4. Anything in here, trying to take a position here is going to be more risky because you don't know which way it's going to go yet. So just be careful with that. We'll take a quick look at the news. We just had housing starts. They came out a little bit less than expected. Building permits were up slightly, and the foreign purchases were much greater than anticipated. 9:30, we've got some news out of Great Britain. I don't think that's going to be very big. So there's no real other news other than the fact that we still got this whole Greece, plan or no plan. I like what Danny Riley calls it, Plan D, because there's no way they're not defaulting. They don't have the money. They're gonna default. I think it'd be good for the market and just get the uncertainty out of the way. So the one thing I do like to do, as you know, is start with a basic trend chart, just looking where we are. You can see that we're basically been going sideways now. For the last 4 months. We're losing slope and separation. We still have the week high up there at 2134 and 32, and then we haven't violated the trend. So the trend is still intact. It's just a little bit weak right now. And we don't even get down to violating it now until we get down below that 49 CLVN, even 47. Going to the weekly, you can see that we have closed below the 9 and the 20. We're currently gapped down from the open of last week. We opened that 2076 gap down. Half gap is 2080.50, and of course the full gap is at 84.50. But there is weakness and again consolidation, no real trend in either direction yet. Going down to the daily, this changes the picture slightly. You can see and we're getting slope and separation to the downside on the daily. Still have this technical gap and naked close that still has to be filled, but we are seeing the potential start of a downward trend. Going down to the intraday to take a look at where we are coming into the RTH session right now, you can see that we do have a fairly strong trend to the downside. There still is a naked cross up here at 2095. We may have some lower areas to go down and test and re-auction, but let me make it clear. Overall, the top, in my mind, is not in yet. And we've got a lot of repair to do to the upside as we do to the downside. So I think that you're going to see some strong moves in both directions. I think we're going to, I don't think we're going to get a major flush. I think we're going to get little pushes to the downside. Buyers are going to step in and rotate it pretty violently back up. And it's going to be, some real big oscillations in the, especially coming into quad witching at the end of the week. Don't forget, we've got Fed tomorrow. I'm anticipating that this day will make a move somewhere in the morning, then it'll find some balance and will probably go sideways most of the day, waiting in anticipation. The news for the housing didn't do much for us, didn't make a big revaluation of the market. As long as we're above that 72, I'm looking for a move up into that 75 and a slow grind up towards trying to test the range low and close that gap. But there is a strong trend to the downside. Test of the 9 EMA is going to be up at 74.50. I'm really watching that 75.50, as you know. Going down to the 30-minute, we went and made another 62. Now this 62 has now become a very key line in the sand. We have the 62.75 value area low of the microcomposite. We've got yesterday's low at 62.25. Now we've got a Globex low at 62. So that is becoming a key line in the sand that we need to hold. If we don't hold that, we're going to see visiting those lower targets. And then just going down to a 5-minute, and then we'll go over to the composite and take a look at that. You can see that on the 5-minute, after putting in that 62 low, we've had a fairly strong trend that came down, tested it, created a symmetrical triangle, broke out to the upside, and now we're getting continuation and slope and separation to the upside. So going into the RTH session, we do have a bit of a uptrend intact on the smaller time frame. Okay, so let's take a look at the structure, and then we'll start moving our numbers over. You can see that this is the microcomposite I'm talking about. This balance that we've been in, this starts from February the 5th through to yesterday. The value area low and the key level is what I'm watching now is this 2062.50. But you can see there's been some very big fluctuations in this area, and they're holding value. If they break value, then all bets are off, and my next big target below is 51.50, 42.25, and then the big one is down here, all the way down at 2011.25. This was that 2019 shifted to 2011.25 on the September contract. Right now, balance in this area is 71. It's it's sometimes difficult to grasp when you get a double distribution and you get that LVN area of the, between the two double distribution, and you have to consider it as balance because it's a long-term price acceptance level. So just remember that we may not move too quickly off of here, so make sure that you've got clear break above 72 or clear break below 70. If you wanted to be safe, you could wait till the CLVN at 74.25 or 68.25 to get the higher probability of that rotation. But I think that you can use that 70 1/4 break to the low side or the 72 to the upside fairly decently. We're holding 72 right now, so they're trying to get back in the upper distribution from yesterday. Let's grab our overnight chart and start moving our levels over. We've got 2076 as our overnight high. Also was our week open at 76 and sitting just above the naked VPOC at 75.75 and just above the close for yesterday at 75.50. Our overnight low is at 62, and of course it's just below that RTA low from yesterday. And then our current VPOC is at 69 1/4. And there's really not much else. There's a little LVN here at 70 1/4, but we already have this distribution zone. So this is going to be, the one thing I love about double distribution days is you get a good area to trade from, and that area is the LVN. Now this is a pretty wide LVN, so we got to actually put 2 trade areas in there because we don't want to get long until above 72. We don't want to get short until we're below 70 1/4. Clear targets. This is what I love here. Below the clear target is going to be your value area low, and that CLVN that's sitting down at 68 1/4. That's what I'm saying.
Hey,
if you
Doug,
wanted
there's a lot of noise coming through.
The higher probability trade for more downside, wait until you're below the value area in the lower distribution and below that CLVN. And your target below 68 1/4 is that 66. That's the CHVN. And then, of course, below that, the main key line in the sand now is going to be down here at 62. All right, and we know the overnight low is there. So I'm just going to move this down here just so you can see it. I'm going to move it down to 61.75. Need to identify that overnight low. Where did it go? My overnight low disappeared. 62. All right, so just wait. It is 62. You might even want to wait for a break below 61.50. And then below that, there's not much to hold us up until we get to that 59 CLVN. And then below that, we've got another CLVN at 55. And then, of course, our next big target below is this 51.50 area. And that's a former and still naked microcomposite VPOC. And then below that, we've got a CLVN at 49, 45, and then the extended target below is going to be this 42 1/4. And then below that, you've got 37.75, and then 30 1/4, and then you've got the 15.75, which is just above that naked close, and then, of course, the very, very extended target down at 2011 1/4. And I think we're going to see 2011 1/4 if we get below that that 62. All right, so that's what I'm looking at to the downside. To the upside, pretty clear. If you get above 72, your first target you want to get off is where the VPOC was just before it shifted up into the close. It's also a bit of a CHVN there as well at 73 and a quarter. Why did that? I don't know why that's saving as a default. Apply and make default. Okay. And then the big target and the main target above is up here at the 70. I'm not going to draw it there. You know what it is. It's naked close, naked. Well, let's just put it down at the fifth, just below there. At the 75 and a quarter, but you've got naked close, naked VPOC, overnight high, all sitting right there. And then above there, you've got there's a small CLVN at 79.75. And it's right below the value area low. So I'm going to use the value area low, or sorry, value area high. And then above that, your target is the breakout or the test of the range high. Come on. Actually, I'm going to set it up as a target as well. And then above that, we've got 81 and a quarter as our first target. 82 range low from Friday, and then the next big target above is going to be I'm going to put a trade area at 82.50 because that will bring us back inside of yesterday's range and above what I consider to be a pretty important CLVN. It's also the value area high for the last 6 days, and then the main target, the next big target above is going to be up here at the 85 and a quarter. And then above that, you've got 88.75, 91.75, 94, and then the next big target or extended target above is at 97. Okay, and then you got 2100 and a quarter and 2101.50 and 2103.75, and I don't think we're going to get up there today, but we're prepared. We know that those numbers are up there. We've traded them before. See what I'm talking about? We're being influenced by long-term price acceptance inside of yesterday's price rejection. And we got up to that 72 and they couldn't break above it and get away from the 71 yet. So just be careful in this area. But once we make the break and it's clear, I think you got high probability trades to the upside or the downside into the main HVNs of the double distribution. So taking a look at the Keltner, you can see the overnight VPOC is sitting at the 69.50 area. It's also our 24-hour VWAP and our Keltner center line right now. We're above it, and a test of the upper Keltner is going to take us into the naked close and the naked VPOC at 75.50 area, and below a test of the lower Keltner is going to take us into that 63 area, which is going to be down near the overnight low and that key line in the sand. So that's what I'm looking at in the ES. Let's just take a quick look at gold. Oh, I forgot to. I was trying to fix this chart. I've got a problem with why this is a 1395 candlestick chart, and on my one computer it's fine, on the other one it's not. But anyway, right now 83. There's balance in this area. Let me just draw the profile for it. The balance is up there at that 88. That was one of our targets yesterday. We're currently trading 82. Value area low is 77. So the two main areas are going to be the same that I talked about yesterday for trading gold. One is going to be at this 1174.50 and a break below it down to the 68 and possibly some of these lower numbers we were talking with the the big number. I think it's 48. Again, I rebuilt this chart yesterday. I forgot to put my micro composites. But the big trade I'm waiting for and waiting on is this 1192.60. Because above 1192.60, I can get long into the magnet at 1240. A rejection of that, I can get short into current balance at 88. But this is still going to act as a strong magnet, and we are going to come up here and test it again. So if we break above that 92.60, you can see we're going to, your first one has to be off by 94.80, but I think we'll break out of this value and come back into the microcomposite VPOC. Take a quick look at Stealth. Stealth, the system auto biased is basically even. We've got a mixed bag on the midterm and long-term sentiment. We're trading inside of balance all the way around. There's no clear direction right now being shown by the participants of the auction. So I think there's we got to wait for the RTH open and see what the market on open orders bring us, in the RTH participants come in to show us what their sentiment and bias is. So that's going to complete the pre-market session. As always, trade well, trade safe, and we'll catch you on the flip side.